Shalom! In this lesson, you will learn about the name of Michael and the Hebrew morph. Lesson 12. Who was like God? Remember these guys from the last course? Miriam, Yom, Caleb, Adam, and Lebanon. They're going to help you with this lesson. You're going to learn about a special feature of this letter. It does something very special. It means like or as. Like or as. You'll learn all about it in this lesson. Okay, so we know that Michael means who is like God in Hebrew. Who is like God. But you remember that there is no is in Hebrew. We have a special morph here. Like God becomes one unit in Hebrew. These words will also make an appearance in this lesson. El for God, Adam for Adam, Geber for man, David for David, and Rachel for sheep. And now for the Hebrew morph on Michael. I hoped you enjoyed the Hebrew morph of Michael, and you saw how Michael is actually broken up into 3 Hebrew units. And that's what makes up who is like God. Let's look at it another way. Let's see the special morph that we have with these units. Okay? Yes, you can see how they come together, and the 2 words actually merge into 1 unit. And you got to see how that action actually works with all of these words that you already know. And you saw how they got transformed into morphed. And what I want you to do, I want you to go to the PDF file, and I want you to study these on your own. Okay? Now, this is a special phenomenon that Ivrit calls the sticky letters. And there are about 6 or 7 other letters that are also like this. And we go over that in the Learn Hebrew Through the Bible course that I really recommend that you take. That will really help you learn how to read Hebrew and also learn the names of all the letters of the alphabet. Yes, I haven't given you the names of the letters. I didn't want to confuse you with that yet. But you'll be ready to learn the names of the letters in this course. So let's just look at this word, me, which means who in English. Remember this verse, 1 Samuel 25:10? It says, "And he said, who is this David? And who is this son of Jesse?" Notice it's not asking, oh, who is David? It's more of a rhetorical kind of question. He's asking about the character of this man. And that's more of the biblical Hebrew emphasis here. But what I want to do is I want to look at just the first sentence here. Who is this David? In fact, let's just cut it down even more. Who is this David? And notice that you're able to figure out this whole sentence on your own. Just 2 words. Mi David. Okay, now see if you can find a similar set of 2 words here in 2 Samuel 22:32. You can pause the video if you want. And there it is. Who is God? For who is God except the Lord? And who is a rock except our God? And you might have noticed that we have another me or who that's right here. What I also want you to notice is that this is an example of Hebrew poetry. It's called a parallelism. And Hebrew poetry, what you have is you have one idea on one line, and it is then copied into the second line. So it's very similar in the second line. So you have, who is God except the Lord? Who is a rock except our God? Now let's just play a little game here. Do you see 2 other words that are exactly alike? And there they are. See if you can find them in the English. Exactly. And there they are again. And see, that's how you can really understand how to figure out biblical Hebrew. Let's try another word now. That's right, because you know over there, who is God? You can probably figure out that means for in the blue. And then in the second line, we have and. And then we also have the word for rock. And you are really rocking because you're really starting to figure out some biblical Hebrew here. And maybe you even figured out that El is right there. It's embedded for the word of our God. Okay, so we had Mi'el, and what was that in English? Who is God? So let's see if you can translate this. You pause the video and think about it. And it's, who is Seth? Okay, you want to try another one? Translate that and pause the video. Who is Jared? Let's just do one more. And who is Nathan? So this really gives you a chance to practice what you have learned, and you can see how sentences come together in Hebrew. You're really starting to read already. Okay, let's try something else. Can you translate that? How about, who was like man, or who was like Adam? How about this? Who was like David? Oh, that's a bit of a long one. Okay, we'll just pause. That's right. It's who was like Gabriel. I'm not so interested in you learning how to pronounce them. I just want you to really learn how to recognize them at this point and how to read them. Okay? And what do you think that says? Who is like Seth? Now, can you believe you know how to read all that? I think that's pretty good. And imagine you learned all that through the name of Michael. Shalom.